Well, hello everybody. Anyway, we're back on the old bench, and I've got quite a delightful old instrument here. This is the Hewlett Packard Model 400C. And this came out in 1948 from the venerable Hewlett Packard Corporation. This was like the third iteration of this vacuum tube voltmeter, and it is, and then just, you know, like all Hewlett Packard, it is just a brilliantly engineered device from 1948. This is over 71 years old now. Or 71 years old. The power transformer is completely metal enclosed. It's manufactured by Payco, as you can see. We got an amazing mix of steel, aluminum, and brass for the materials for the chassis and the frame. And we've got a selenium rectifier that we need to get rid of eventually, but first I'm going to recap the whole thing and replacing the resistors. I'm going to fire it up and get a voltage, and then I'll be able to take and convert this to silicon rectifiers and put a dropping resistor, mount it to this aluminum plate here, mount them on a little circuit board, and that'll take up a lot less room. I'll be able to fit the dropping resistors and the silicon diode in there to get rid of the germanium. I'll also mount new electrolytics under all these electrolytic cans here. There's a bunch of 10 mic 450s. These are 2000 mic 16 or 15 volt, and then we've got two 20s and a 40 over here for the power supply regulation or filtering. And all I have in stock is a couple of 450s for the 20 mic over here, and I have to order everything else. I don't have any poly caps the right size. And there's these old bumblebees. This one's been replaced at one time. These 22 or 0.22 mic 600 volt 630 volt bumblebee caps, and everything else looks really clean. I mean, the circuit board looks amazing. All the tubes are original. I mean, it got Westinghouse and General Electric, and it's just a beautiful old guy. The fuse is gone. Serial number 10011. And I'm going to go through and just show you. Most of these resistors are in pretty close to spec. Let me set this little plastic stand here. Can you get that in the shot? Probably be better over here. Get the dust off. Can you see? Alright, well, we can see it there. And I'll turn the backlight on so you can see. That doesn't stay on very long. But say right here we got this should be 2.2K, and it's across. There's caps. There's 2.2K again. This is 100. This should be 10K here. Just under 10. So anyway, I went through most of these already, and I checked, and most of these resistors are just right dead on, which is amazing for these old carbon comp resistors. Anyway, yeah, there's quite a few. There's one hiding under here. Poly caps. There's paper. These are paper caps. There's one here on the side of the circuit board. There's another one here. There's another one on this circuit board down here, hiding on the top of that. And there's also one across the two contacts in the emitter. So anyway, I just built a bill of material at DigiKey, and I'll place the order. It's about 11 or 12 o'clock here on a Thursday. Hopefully I'll get the parts by next Monday or Tuesday. And if there's any resistors I find that are out of tolerance, I have a pretty good selection of those. If it's one of these big fat, none of these big fat ones are out of tolerance, so I won't have to worry about it getting any high wattage. I've got a good selection of half watt and a couple 1 and 2 watt resistors. But anyway, it should be pretty nice. I'm gonna take all the tubes off. I'll show you some pictures as I go, and I'll turn the camera on now and again. Clean this all up and bring it back to life. Alright, well, there we go. I'll be back when I got more to show you. Thanks. Okay, I also forgot to mention that when I went to remove the line cord, I pulled it off the plug in here, and this goes into the chassis. And if you notice here, look at I was a little suspect. I'm always a little suspect of these, but this is just, I went to cut it, and the rubber just shattered. It's like pie crust or a cracker. It's like a graham cracker. Anyway, so I'm gonna snip off some of that, and yeah, here's some bits of the insulation that just shattered as I was trying to clip it loose. Anyway, so I'll make sure I get some fresh good cord on here and put that back. And that did get a little scratched up getting that thing on. That was just absolutely compressed. Tons of compression, it seemed like, for the strain relief. So I'll have fun snapping that back in. But anyway, I'll clean this chassis up and recap it, and we'll be back. Thanks. Okay, we're underway here. I guess I had the 22 microfarad 450 volt for the filter supply for the high voltage side here, and I'm going to replace the caps in this old can here. And what I did is I've got some of these little Teflon insulated castle standoff. It's nickel plated brass, and drill a little 9/64 hole right in the side of the chassis here, and then they press in pretty well. And I might put a touch of cyanoacrylate on there just to seal it and make it good. Then I wrap one leg of the positive leg of the cap around one side, and then the wire on the other crown section of the crown. Then I'll run this over to the ground wire and do the same for all three of these. I've got the 22s here. I'll get those done. I ordered the other stuff. Hopefully it'll be here Tuesday or so. Anyway, that's where we are. I like this. Didn't really have room to mount a standoff, in here anywhere. There just isn't the room. But luckily there's this little right angle tab on the chassis, and this is aluminum, so it makes a nice little bite. These just press right in. The Teflon sticks pretty well. I'll solder those on, and I can show you when I'm done with that. Alright, well, you can hear the fan running now. I've been soldering. Anyway, I have mounted the 22 microfarad 450 volt filter caps here on the side. I've replaced the two 20 microfarad 450 volt filter caps that were in this big can here. I'm waiting for an order from DigiKey for a 47 I'm going to put in place of a 40. And I'll mount that right here. You can see I drilled 3 holes here and mounted these little Teflon standoffs. And you can see right there, I soldered the wires to one side from the original colored wires from the power supply, and then to the hot side of the cap, and then from the negative side of the cap I just soldered right here to this existing ground wire that was tied to chassis ground right there. So that's that. That's about all as far as I can go today. I don't like taking all this stuff off, and then that's a mistake to start removing parts before you have the replacements, because it'll just turn into a nightmare. It's a lot easier to replace them one at a time as you go along. You notice I already took this one off, the wire off that, because I know that's going to be the 40 there. It's relatively simple, but when you start messing around with that's why you should really take good pictures, and have a schematic. But in lieu of all, even with all those things in consideration, it's just a lot easier. You might be a while and you'll forget where stuff went. Anyway, I'm gonna wait till all my caps, the rest of the caps, come in before I go any farther. and then I'll probably pull these tubes and start cleaning everything. I already got the tubes out over here because I was working over there and didn't want to bash them up, but that's probably what I'll do next. I'll start cleaning up. Alright, take care. Hey, we're going freehand here for a minute, and I realized I was looking at some of the previous capture that I had, and you can't really tell. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. You can see the edge of those. That's those Teflon little bits that the crowns that I drilled in the chassis, and I found in my stock I found a 47 mic cap that you can see that we put here, that we needed to complete this set to replace all the caps. There was 40 and 220s in here, so we got 47 and 222s, and those are all soldered in place, and you can't really see very easily. Let's see, you can kind of see that. Let me get some light in here. Focus, you sucker. Anyway, that thing doesn't want to focus. This isn't made for zooming in close. Anyway, I'll take some pictures and post on there along with this. Alright, this was a bust on the last try. Yeah, memory card was filled up, and I was an idiot, didn't format it for a while. So anyway, as you can see there, we've replaced the 47 microfarad capacitor in the filters for the power supply, and I found that laying around. This one I've unscrewed, and I don't have a one. This is a one mic. It's completely. There we go. We get some light down in here. It's completely come undone. When I took the case loose to roll it around, it came loose. But you can. I have the schematic. It goes right here. Pin 5. I've ordered all new caps here. I managed to replace the Germanium diode with this full wave bridge rectifier here. It's a Philips 100 volt 2 amp. I got the AC wires running in there with the fiberglass sheathing on it, and the positive leads got red, and we got blue to the negative overhead to the filter caps. These are going to get replaced with a couple of nice big fat 2000 microfarad 16 volt. I replaced that. This bumblebee here was replaced with this little guy, and this was on the other side all wrapped around. Replaced it with that. More modern, takes up a lot less space. And oh, there you can see, let's see if we can kind of get some light in there to see how those, you can see the standoff there. You can kind of see the edge, just see the edge of the crown here and here. There's a bit of the Teflon down through the aluminum. And anyway, so there's that. And I ran all these resistors. Every one I've checked so far is within tolerance. And I replaced this one here. You can see this is a 0.22 mic, and that goes down here from the selector up onto this board. And then let's see, we got that one. Oh, and then the input capacitor right here. This is a 600 volt. That's I think it's a 0.01, I think. Anyway, I'll update that. I'll put it in the notes. I'll put it in the notes what it actually is. And anyway, I dug around in my box, found several poly caps that would work very well for replacement. I have all the high voltage on there. There goes the compressed air. The bench is a mess. I have about a 2 square foot bench. It's, you know, it's what it is. Anyway, and this thing cleans up fairly well. Get the exposure just right here. You can see there's the V9. It's a 0A2, the voltage regulator. And these are all very clearly labeled. V7 and 8 is a 6AV5 GT, and then a 6AV6, and then V6 is a 6AX5 GT. And anyway, you work your way around here, and you can see the various V10's a 10-4C, which is some kind of a tube for just regulating the voltage, the DC voltage to the other tubes. The V2 through V5. V1 is a 6 SQ7. Anyway, there's some pretty neato tubes on. Go back through here a little bit and clean the rest of that up. But anyway, all right. I hope by the next video we'll have it all cleaned and recapped, and I'll fire it up, see how it performs. I'm only missing about half a dozen, maybe 8 caps that I didn't have, and I ordered them this evening or this afternoon on the DigiKey, so we'll get them soon enough and get this finished up, and then maybe we can start on some of the other projects. We got a radio there, and the radio up there, all kinds of stuff. I want to move the input for this. I want to make a video of this, dude. This is a spectrum analyzer, and I want to move the input from the back to the front. Anyway, so I got a bunch of projects coming up this year, and it'll be fun. Should be able to do quite a bit.